Welcome, I am Rajendra Salokhe. Here is another game played in Caro Kann advanced variation and won by black. Both the players have more than 2000 rating. Let's see how people with 2000 rating play the game. I take black to my side. I've analyzed this game for myself. So let's see, e4, c6, d4, d5. This is Caro Kann, and e5 is Caro Kann advanced now. Now black played g6 this time. So I've been telling you all the time that 99% of the people play bishop to g7, shown by this green line, and only 1% plays some other moves. So this fits into that other moves. So he played g6. He wants to fianchet to the bishop here. Take the bishop to g7. Probably may not take. So he played c4. So again black played bishop to e6, shown by this red arrow. Actually he should have played this now, bishop to g7. That would have been a better move. Anyway, bishop e6, played b3, making the chain here. Bishop to g7 now he played. Knight c3, d cross c4, b cross c4. Then he plays c5, threatening the black. But this pawn doesn't have any support. Normally this is played in Caro Kann, but that time it has got a support from either this bishop on the black square, or this is normally played by knight, taking the knight to d7. So it supports this position, but he has given it for gambit's sake. So he plays d5, is not taken that. B cross e5, and this threatens the knight further. So he plays bishop to b2 and supports the knight. Now this threat is of course there is to bishop on e6. So he plays bishop to f5, h3, bishop g7, takes the bishop back to g7. Queen to d2 he played, but there was no need actually for playing that. Actually knight to f3 would have been a better move, because he has to prepare for the castle, or make way for the castle and develop the pieces. And queen is normally the last piece to be developed. So okay, queen he played to d2, then knight f6. Okay, taken it, so he is prepared for the castle. g4, threatening the bishop and disturbing the castle, of course. So bishop to c6, c8, it takes it back. Now white plays bishop to g2. Actually knight would have been the better option. Normally if you see the principles of the opening, one of the principles again is take the knight out first before the bishop. So let's see some moves. If he plays knight to f3, so knight to f3 will go like this. Knight to f3, black will obviously castle. He'll then play bishop to e2 and knight to d7 and rook to d1, so making a battery of queen and rook on this d file. So we were here, he played bishop to g2, then black played h6, threatening the pawn there. Actually knight to f3 would have been better for black. Let's see if he plays knight to f3. Sorry, I mean knight to d7. Sorry, knight to d7 would have been better move. So further it can go to say b6 here, and then threatens this pawn on the c4, which is hanging, have no support. He played h5, then white is to play, white didn't capture it, he played g5 and threatened the knight. Now this knight goes to d7, white plays f5 and trying to support this pawn, but actually knight to f3 would have been better because it would have prepared for the castle. Played the pawn here, played knight to b6, threatening this pawn now. Queen to e2 to support the pawn, then black castles, and now white castles on the long side. That is why it was it disturbed both the castles, of course, but that is why he was playing moves like this, f4 and all that. Now black plays queen to d7, but queen to c7 would have been better because queen to c7 threatens this pawn on f4. Queen to c7, and he plays no, just he threatens this pawn, so it will support somehow. He plays queen to d7. White is to play, white plays knight to f3, plays queen to f5. Further he can take the pawn, but he should have threatened from here already. Knight to d2, queen cross f4, just now pinning the knight. And obviously he's taken a pawn here, he can take this pawn also, g5 pawn also queen can take. Now he takes the bishop to a1. That is again not a good move. You should keep those squares for moving the king, and always try to move the king to safety. So king to b1 would have been a better move, shown by the green arrow. Then he plays, of course, queen cross g5. This pawn he wanted to take, but again the better move would have been knight to a4. Now how? Because you are just sacrificing the knight there. It will be captured by knight and you don't have any support for that also. So how that is better move? Just think of it. So let's see what happens if we plays knight to a4, knight to a4, knight cross a4, bishop cross a1. That is the thing. So he captures the bishop. Then of course queen cross e7 here. Queen cross e7. This pawn was also not supported. Then black may take the queen to g3, threatening this bishop. Then bishop goes to f3 and he plays bishop f5. So that is how the moves would have been. So we are here. It was queen cross g5, capture the pawn here, and now white actually played the rook to g2, but instead he could have taken the bishop here, bishop to e4. Anyway, rook, he plays queen to e5, shown by the red with the support of the bishop. Again queen to h6 would have been better. He is giving the queen for exchange, but he moves the queen to f3. He should have exchanged the queen actually, but that fellow is threatened. You can't judge the people if they want to exchange the queen or not. Queen he plays to f3. Then black plays again he threatens with the queen, but actually another better move was to move this bishop. He will develop the bishop also, bishop to f6, and block the file for this queen also. But he played okay, queen again. He gave the queen for exchange. White is not ready to exchange the queen. Gives queen to d4 and again offers for the exchange. Now what this queen plays is it takes this pawn on a7, the e7. This pawn is hanging, no support. Black takes the knight to knight cross c4. Another knight can capture, but this queen again can capture the knight. He captures, okay. So queen cross c4. Bishop to f1 and threatens the queen. So queen goes to f4 and gives check. Now actually white moves the king to c2, but better move would have been to put the rook in between. Then He plays bishop to f5 and check. Bishop to d3, puts the bishop in between, crosses, king cross d3, knight to a6, because this knight can again go to h4 and give check. So he played moved the king, sorry, he played pawn here to a3. Actually should have moved the king to c2, played a3, rook to e8 and threatens the queen. Now queen again goes to g5, and this time white offers the queen for exchange, but actually he could have taken the queen to d7 also. Sorry, he has taken the queen to d7. Sorry, actually computer suggests that he should exchange the queen. Sorry, rook to e3, give check, king goes to c2, and black plays queen to f2, but better move would have been to play queen to c4. Now let us see this queen to c4 move. Now here computer suggests that queen to c4 should be played. So supposing queen to c4, then rook to d2, bishop cross c3, king to b1, bishop cross a1, queen cross b7, bishop to g7, rook to c2, rook to b3 and check, queen cross b3 and queen cross b3. So he gets the queen there. So that would have been better move. So we're here, he played queen to f2 and gave check, king moved to b3, but actually should have taken it back. Normally those places are good for the king. Instead of coming into open, he should have taken the king to b1. Played like this. Now black plays b5. Actually computer suggests that he should play this pawn to c4 and give a check. Actually again you are sacrificing the pawn because king can capture, there is no support. But again let us see what happens. Supposing he plays this pawn to c4 and gives a check. So king cross c4, rook goes to f3, king to b3, knight to c6 and check, and this would have put white into more difficulty. So we were here, played b5. Actually he had in mind that after this he can play this pawn to c4 and give a check. So but white played a4, black plays c4 and check, king goes to a3 and b4 and checkmate. This is checkmate. Okay, can see the king cannot move anywhere, check is there, cannot capture this pawn, so this is checkmate. Now come to this position. Here black played b5. Now just think of what would have avoided the check here, what white should have played to avoid the check. Just hold on the video, I'm just pausing for a few minutes. See, this move queen cross b5 would have avoided the mate, because after that probably bishop cross c3, rook d3, c4 and check, queen cross c4, bishop cross a1, rook cross e3, queen cross a7, queen cross e3, king to c2, queen cross g1, and queen cross a6. But this way you see white has lost one rook, one bishop and one pawn. So situation of white is very bad. Even if plays, it just could have prolonged the chess or prolonged the loss. So thank you very much for watching. I'll be uploading some more on Caro Kann only, because I'm trying myself to analyze how these people are playing Caro Kann. Thank you very much.